Hello, everyone. Good morning, good evening, whatever time zone you're in. My name is Danielle, and I'm from Cageless Readings. Today's pick a card. I was inspired by this Kyle Gray Gateway of Light Activation Oracle deck, where I was looking at some of the card spreads they recommend. It's funny, I don't usually read these in Oracle card decks, but I was just curious how he wanted this type of deck to be used, because I do find there's so much powerful energy in it. It's just very, I don't know, it's just very intense cards, I guess I would say, like all in the best kind of way. So yeah, so I was just perusing it, and then I kind of got inspired to take some of his recommendations, but tweak it a little bit for this pick a card reading. So that all being said, we are going to be looking at four main things: your natural gifts and strengths you were born with. We're going to be looking at the challenges you are currently experiencing based off of the point of attraction. So, what does that mean? It's like what are you attracting in based on your belief systems right now? So, limiting beliefs or the conscious beliefs you are replacing them with. So we're going to take a look at that, and then we're going to look at your gifts and strengths that you have uncovered in this lifetime. So that just means the gifts and strengths that you've developed throughout your life at this point. And then lastly, I'm pulling 3 cards for the energies and messages from your heart about your current incarnation or your current lifetime. So I feel like connecting with the heart is such a big theme for me. I mention it a lot in my card piles and in my work. And so it just seemed appropriate to choose 3 cards for what your heart is trying to tell you about this information that comes through. So that all being said, that's what we're going to be doing today. I guess you could say like just going a little bit deeper. I haven't really come up with the title name just yet, so I guess you know it before I do. The funny way that the internet works. So yeah, just get a little bit deeper on what's going on, a little reminder for you about maybe what's going on, and I don't really know. I keep rambling now. So anyways, let's just clear the energy before we choose your files. And I really am digging using these a little bit more. So I'm just gonna ding them 3 times, and they are a little bit loud here, but it's just to ground you, clear the space, clear the room, just so that your highest good and your highest intention is what comes through for you. Okay. So for pile 1, we have this piece of obsidian. For pile 1, I will be choosing I'll pull cards for each pile because I'm using just one deck today. Pile 2 is this strawberry quartz. And pile 3, you are this beautiful rose quartz. All right, I'll see you all in your pick a card readings. And for those of you who have never done a pick a card reading and are wondering what the heck does this all mean, you just tune into yourself. So what does that mean? It's best to close your eyes, put a hand on your heart, take a deep breath in, exhale it out, do it a couple of times, and then ask your heart, because you have your hand on your heart, you can draw your attention there. Ask your heart which pile has a message for you. And when you open your eyes, just take a look at each crystal, and usually one will kind of call out to you a bit more. Sometimes there's more than one that you feel really attracted to. It might just be a couple of messages for you in a couple different piles. Or sometimes people like to look at the timestamp in the description box below. So the time that is correlated with different piles, and one of those numbers might be a number you've been seeing a lot or you're just really drawn to. You can't really choose wrong. You just click on a pile. If you get to the pile and you're like, this is just not resonating with me, then just leave it and go to a different pick a card reading, because there's so many out there. There's for sure a message for you. So sometimes it just takes a second to connect in with the intuition so you can find it. All right. Hello, pile one. You chose the Obsidian point here. So I will just put it up here. And I'm just going to pull your cards for you. You know what? I don't like that angle. I'm going to put it like that. Okay, so the first card we're pulling is, what is pile one's natural gifts and strengths that they were born with? All in your highest good and love and light. What is pile one's natural gifts and strengths that they were born with? Oh, sorry. That is just an alarm to wake up. I had a lot to do today, and I actually woke up about an hour earlier than I thought I would. So that's great, because I'm going to get it all done. Okay. Sorry. Next card we're pulling is challenges you are currently experiencing or manifesting based on your current point of attraction. Okay, all for pile one. Their highest good and love and light. Okay, and third card, gifts and strengths you have uncovered in this lifetime for pile one. And lastly, we're pulling 3 cards for the energies and the messages your heart is sharing for your current incarnation for pile one. Okay, there's 2 already, and there we go. Just like that. So we have Third Eye Activation, Shambhala Initiations. This card has come up a couple times on this channel. Cyrus Star Blessings. And let's unturn all of them, shall we? Gaia Gateway Activation. We have Soul Star Activation. Oh, and let me just fix this so you can see your cards a little bit better. And lastly, Stargate Heart. Ooh, I love seeing these 2 cards come out together. Oh, it just feels so connected when I see sort of rooted Gaia energy, which is just Mother Earth energy, and Stargate Heart. Like, it's just, I don't know, I love it. Okay, so anyways, Third Eye Activation says, brow chakra, inner vision, clear seeing. What I love about this is actually the cover card, so I always feel like that's cool. I don't know, to me, this is like the intention of the deck is usually what you put on your cover card, like what really embodies the energy. So this is all about gateway activation, light activation, stepping into new ways of life, new ways of thinking, new opportunities. And this is the innate gifts and strengths you were born with. So when I see this coming out and you're like, what makes you kind of strong and special in this life, I just see you have an innate ability to see different opportunities. So what this might look like, right away what's coming to me is just like, say in your family, like this I would also associate with ancestral, what do they always say? Ancestral karmic changes, ancestral pattern breaker, anything you want to kind of use around that language. Changing, but you know what's interesting? Actually, it's just saying, I don't feel like for all of you, like sometimes in these card readings I get that like you come from very, very destructive families, but I actually don't get this so much from this. I actually feel like maybe for this pile, if you've chosen it, that some of you actually came from some very supportive families, which is, like I'm saying, it's not usually what I see on this channel, but very supportive families. But I feel like even though they were considered loving and supportive in some cases, not everyone's going to fit into that bubble here. you did still have the ability to wish for more. I don't know if that's quite the right language. It's weird. I feel like I'm not quite hitting the language on the head for this pile, but I just feel like for some of you, it was the classic sort of coming into a family who was a little more chaotic and seeing third eye activation, brow, like your strength is your inner vision, your ability to clearly see what you want for your life, clearly see who you were, to not just do what other people around you were doing, not just become what other people around you said you were going to become. So there's a strong energy there, but also, like I was saying, I have to include this other pile because I feel like, sorry, not this other pile, but this other group who chose this pile, who I feel like you're like, people are always saying that, like, chaotic family, it's not true for me. My family was loving. But I just feel like you just, I don't know, you were just different. Like, I feel like they wanted a very normal human life. And I feel like if you chosen this pile, like, you didn't want a normal human life. Like, um, you wanted it to be more profound and magical is almost the word I'm getting. Like, oh, I don't know. You feel like you're a hard, that other secondary energy here is like a hard group to put a word to. And I feel like that's just a struggle you've had, is having people really understand or see you. Maybe even on these YouTube pick a card readings, I feel like you're just like a little bit different on your upraising and on like who you are than like what you keep getting in your pick a card readings. So sorry about that. But yeah, it's tricky because I do feel like, unfortunately, the dominant energy usually are people who are not supported by their families. And unfortunately, I do still feel like that energy is dominant in this card reading. So yeah, might just do better if, sorry, I feel like I'm talking to a specific person right now, but you if you're resonating with this and you're like, I just can never find a pick a card reader that really gets me, I feel like you might just do better paying for a one-on-one reading with someone, because I feel like you were just, it's not that readers can't read you, it's just that you're using general energy, and whoever has the biggest energy in a card reading is the one who will get addressed, because it's really hard to listen to one voice when there's like 90% of the group is in this other energy, and we kind of have to go by that because they are just group readings, so we have to go whatever serves the highest group. So that being said, sorry person who's feeling really frustrated about that, but anyways, to continue with this card reading, third eye activation. So really great card. Really strong strength is basically being a gateway of light activation is kind of how I'd see it. Of changing things, changing people around you, bringing more light into people's lives, uprising people around you. And I think I have to say here is like, I feel like I don't know why I'm so drawn to the sunrise, like here. Like, I feel like for you guys, it's like you always kept your eyes on the horizon, on the brighter thing, on the more beautiful thing that was coming in. You didn't get stuck in what was like heavy and, I want to use the word dingy for some reason, not a normal word in my vocabulary, but the dingy things going on around you. So, um, yeah, it's almost like things were just kind of darker and heavier. That's what I just keep getting for this pile. Doesn't always mean that things were bad, but things were just like, people were just heavier, denser. Maybe some of you would categorize it as people were just very 3D. I know that's like a popular term these days. And I feel like just the energy that comes through is that you guys always just were a little more conscious, a little more self-aware, a little more just, you just knew things. You weren't really sure why you knew them. You just did. That was your gifting. That is what you were born with. Like, it came in with you. This is part of your like soul purpose, key part of who you are kind of energy. The Shambhala initiations, recreating to recharge, trust in the process, Dharma. This is what challenges your currently experiencing or manifesting based on your current point of attraction. So it just basically means in your belief systems, learning beliefs, unconscious programming, conscious programming, all that combined. But whatever one you're more in, this is what you're manifesting in right now. Another way to look at it is when I see each person, they're kind of living in their own like, we'll say like energy bubble, like their perspective, what's going on in the world, how they're going to perceive an event that unfolds in front of them versus like how I would or someone next to them. I see all that kind of in like, I call it like their energy spiral around them. And I don't know if you're a good visualizer, but that's kind of how I see it. So when I'm looking at this card, I'm kind of tuning into what kind of words and energies are spiraling around you in your little spiral bubble. And it's different for everyone all the time. Everyone's going in their own little spiral bubbles with their own belief systems affecting it, and what they, it's just all that's going on, all your attraction energy, all that stuff that people are always talking about. So Shambhala initiations, retreating to recharge, trusting in the process, and Dharma. So this is really interesting. I think I just mentioned this. It's probably a couple card readings ago. So if you're watching this far in the future, it's probably really hard to track down, but maybe you stumbled upon this card. I really feel like when I see this is just coming back up with the same message of you are following like your, I keep saying Yellow Brick Road, but like, like Wizard of Oz, like she doesn't know where to go, but she's just following her divine path. She's just following where she's being called to go, what is lit up and exciting for her, which leads her to this golden castle palace, which is radiating everything she wants to attract in. That's how I see the Wizard of Oz. I haven't watched it in years. It's probably very different for a lot of people than that. But the point being is like, I just see this like Dharma, especially word Dharma. I feel like it's saying like, I think for this pile, you got a little tired, something came up, something happened that I feel like you were energetically recovering from. So it might have been exhaustion. You might have gotten just very busy. Maybe you became a parent. Maybe you lost a parent. Maybe you lost a job or a friend, or had a health issue come up. But whatever it is in your situation, I feel like it said there was like a little hiccup where you kind of like lost your focus on your direction briefly. I don't feel like this was like a great hindrance, but I feel like something happened, and now you're back in full swing. Is kind of how I'm seeing it. So it's actually saying it's quite positive. Something happened, kind of swayed you from being in this direction, but now you're back on the path of trusting in. You're following your Yellow Brick Road. You're following what brings you joy, what lights you up, and you're knowing and trusting that that is just where you're supposed to be. You're not doubting that you're taking a wrong path, because there is no wrong path. There's only what lights you up and what doesn't, what gets you excited and what isn't very exciting for you. And you're just choosing to be on the path where you're more excited and happy to be there. And Dharma is all about finding, I don't know, just I feel like to me, I just see it as like moving in what you love to do in the world and being what you love in the world. But I'm sure that's probably a horrible analogy for it, but that's just how I see it. So I feel like it's saying like, this is the energy you're on right now, but it does bring a little bit of an energy of having dipped off briefly, but now you're back on it. So that's really awesome. And then the third card here was give strength you have uncovered in this lifetime. So this is what you've developed after having your human life that you've been having. So it says, yes, proceed, be seen, and push through. So I really like this card when it comes up. When I did this, I always do like a sample reading just to see how the energy will come through and if it makes sense. I actually got this for what I was born with, and like the energy I just get off of it is just like knowing that even when things get uncomfortable, or like, and I want to be very clear when I say that uncomfortable, because I feel like sometimes people think like if a person's being like kind of creepy or pervy towards them, like that's uncomfortable. That is uncomfortable that I would say you do not push through. You just set a boundary and you do not take that kind of shit. But when I say this kind of uncomfortable, it's more like you're a little nervous. You've never really experienced something like this before. And there is this like excitement. There is this like, I do want this outcome, but I'm just a little nervous because this is new and I don't know how it's going to work out. I don't know the end result. That kind of uncomfortable where we feel a little out of control because we don't know the exact way things are going to work out. But that whole trusting process that everything is always working out for you, which is beautiful, is the only thing you need to know to get through this kind of energy. And I feel like this is saying that this is even what you've learned is like, even if there is something you don't know how to do, or something where you don't know exactly how everything's going to work itself out, you just know that you can trust yourself and you can proceed. It's okay if people, it's okay to be a little vulnerable with people. Like when I see the be seen, it's like, to me, I get like maybe putting yourself out there. Like maybe you have a podcast, maybe you are a professional speaker, or maybe you wrote a book about your life, or you shared like very deep experiences. I don't know. I feel like for this pile, like people have literally share their life story for some reason. I don't know if that is what you do for a job, but I feel like that happens in whatever it is that you're doing. And that it actually was what people were needing. Like, and to have the courage of that, I think just got you through. And then, yeah, push through. So I just really feel like it's just not turning back when things were uncomfortable because you didn't know the exact outcome or feel like you had control over exactly how it was going to unfold. So that's really cool. I love that energy. So, anyways, the messages from your heart that it's sharing with you for this current incarnation, we have Gaia Gateway Activation, which is learning experiences, Wyndham transmission, Earth intelligence. And we have Stargate Heart, Heart Chakra opening, unlocking generosity. I do just want to talk about these first because, like I was saying at the start, I feel like they're so connected when I see them. And I also feel like it really ties in with what you've learned in this human life of yours, to just be vulnerable, to have a little bit of courage, to be your truest self, and to just follow what excites you and what you feel drawn to is basically all it is. And I feel like learning experiences, wisdom transmissions, earth intelligence, when I see this, I feel like it's like constantly, how do I put this? Constantly learning and growing, I feel like is what your heart really enjoys in this life. Like learning, I feel like it could be so broad. Like I feel like learning how to, what's the right word? I feel really blocked on this here. I want to say self-discovery. That's maybe close to the word. Like like I don't want to say mastering yourself, but self-discovery, always expanding. Like I just feel like there's no actual limit. Like I don't feel like you can really get bored when you're connecting in with this energy, because it makes you realize that there's always another facet of something you've learned that you can learn deeper and further, and it always just feels as rewarding once you learn it or just discover it. And I also feel like there's such a pronunciation here with just you being so drawn to the actual earth energy. So maybe you really love plants or gardens, herbs, growing your own vegetables or fruits. I just really feel like when I see this card, it's like this is also kind of a message of like this connecting in, touching like garden soil might be something that really grounds you and really puts you back in this like connection with everything around you. um as well as maybe you quite literally connect in, like maybe one of your main guides is Mother Earth. Like I wouldn't even be surprised about that for this pile. And I like when I see wisdom transmissions, like I feel like you do just like maybe even get more downloads when you're really grounded and connected in. And I do feel like I'm being really called to the water in that card. So some of you might just really be into, funny enough, I want to say like tropical waters. Like, oh, like I'm thinking of like clear, beautiful, light blues. And they have like that beautiful sand. What is that sand? It's like so soft, it doesn't hurt your feet at all to walk on. And if you come from a place like that, our sand here is like tiny pebbles that are sharp and hurt. And so I always just think of that as like very tropical and very nice and beautiful and doesn't hurt your feet, which is amazing. but the water feels so amazing, so purifying. Just even to look at that kind of colored water is just amazing. So anyways, you might just be water babies. Some people might say that. And then, oh yeah, when I talked about the Stargate heart chakra opening, unlocking, and generosity. So when I see this, I'm just straight up getting like your heart just feels so great when it is allowed to be open, when you are following and listening to it, which once again is just whenever you're on that yellow brick road, whenever you're following your heart's guidance to take you down whatever path. You're not always totally sure how it's all going to end, but it does just work because you're following your heart. Your heart is kind of what manifests everything. And I like how there's two Merkabahs. So I like Merkabah stuff. You might be really working with your Merkabah right now. I'm not totally sure, but strong energy there. Maybe it's even talking about how you can transport yourself into a higher dimension, a higher timeline whenever you're following your heart. I feel like that there's something to it. But anyways, unlocking and generosity, like I just feel like you really do just want to share with people your gifts, your abundance, your the things you experience. And that even makes sense with like this stuff here with the whole vulnerable thing. And I really do feel like some of you are speakers, podcasters, popular, like whatever it is you're doing, like maybe you're a scientist for all I know, but I feel like you do very well because you share your story from a very heart-based place, very true, very authentic, very real, very approachable. And I don't know, I feel like it's everything. The heart, following the heart is everything. Coming from the heart energy is everything. Sharing is everything. And I do feel like you just share your wisdom and your story again and again. Beautiful. I even feel like maybe this is the pile why I wanted to put this in. And I really wanted some green in this setting here. So I wonder if I was inspired by you guys. So anyways, then we have Soul Star activation, fulfilling soul contracts, remembering who you are. So this is what your heart comes to say. So it's so interesting. When I get this card, I feel like I just am getting that your heart is constantly reminding you that you are more than just a human having a human experience. I feel like you're the creator, you are God, you are everything. You are the flowers you see, you are the waters that move, and like embodying that and remembering that, but then also remembering that it's funny, it's kind of like that ironic, like you're knowing that you are all this and that you can create and you can I just feel like this is talking so much about law of attraction and abundance and just like manifestation, but then also saying like you bring this into your reality. Like it's so funny. I feel like they're saying you are the cosmic player of your life. I don't even know what that means, but I just kept seeing like what's that called? A guitar pick. And like you're making the music to your own life or something like that. But it feels very empowering actually, like remembering that you have more power than you perceive sometimes in this life. But you do know this. This is definitely just a reminder. Sometimes you can kind of forget for a second or two. But anyway, so feeling soul contracts, I just really get this is that you are doing everything you're supposed to do. Your soul wanted to experience a lot of greatness. And I feel like you are going to be doing that. If you feel like you aren't already, I think you already are, but you feel like you're just going to keep on fulfilling more and more contracts. And they feel light. Like sometimes when I read soul contracts, they feel heavy, but these feel really light. They feel very uplifting. They feel very great, like especially with this kind of being in the middle. Like I feel like it helps, like I feel like you're literally helping Mother Earth and you're really literally helping people come into that heart energy. So you came here to do a lot of stuff. Which is why I even think you were born with like this light activation ability, activating the people around you, activating and remembering things yourself, pushing through, being vulnerable, being okay with trusting the process, dharma. Yeah, if you guys have heard a lot about people coming in to help with the heart consciousness or bringing us back into a more heart conscious place, I would say you are definitely on that soul journey here, because everything here is pointing to that. Like you just do activate people just by being around them. So what does that mean when people say that? Like it just means in your spiral of energy that's going around you, when you come in contact with someone else's spiral of energy or their aura or whatever you want to call it, their paradigm, it's around them. Your paradigm almost inspires theirs. They're like, whoa, They're doing things that I didn't really understand or think were possible, or they're just even living in a place of happiness and alignment that I didn't even think was possible. So those kind of small things even energetically shift people because you're showing them things that they didn't even know were possible. It's kind of cool. It's like you're defying their limiting beliefs, which inspires them, which then activates them. It's kind of cool. Super cool. Okay. I'm just trying to see if there's anything else to share with this pile, but I kind of think that might be it. Yeah, I think that's all I got for you. So, best of luck. You guys are doing cool shit. Just remember, keep trusting in the process. You're on your yellow brick road to your beautiful Dharma castle. And you're just doing everything you were meant to do. You just being and living in joy and following what excites you and where your heart wants to go is living your divine purpose, living your soul contracted purpose. Yeah, I know, crazy, right? All right, you all have a wonderful day, and maybe I'll catch you around another pick a card reading. I so appreciate it if you leave a like or a comment. It is crazy. I don't really know why. It just like really helps YouTube algorithms show other people this video. So I so appreciate that if you do that. And if not, all good. Catch you around sometime. Hello, pile two. So you chose the rose, or sorry, not the rose, the strawberry quartz crystal. Sorry. Okay, I'm gonna put it right there. And then I'm just gonna widen this a little bit so you can see your cards. All right. Okay, so we're first, blah, blah, blah. I don't know what I'm saying right now. Sorry. I start saying two things at once. Okay. Let's restart. The first card we are pulling for you, pile two, is your natural gifts and strengths that you were born with. So this is what you had coming into this life. It wasn't learned in this lifetime. You already innately had it. So this is all in your highest good and love and light. Fall involved for pile two, your natural gifts and strengths. I only want one card. So one card. I know you have tons of gifts and strengths, okay? But that's why we're just going to focus on one. So don't worry. It's not that you only have one. You have tons. Okay. Ooh. It's like, can't quite decide. It's so funny. I feel like the cards aren't even sure which one to choose. You have too many. Okay. We'll do that one. Okay. And then for your second card, challenges you are currently experiencing or manifesting based on your current point of attraction for pile two. Okay, what's that one? And for card three, gifts and strengths you have uncovered in this lifetime. So what you have learned and developed as your gifts and strengths through the life experiences you've had. Once again, you guys just have too many. They want to give me so many, but this is just a one card kind of card reading. So sorry guys. Just give me the one in their highest good and low and light for pile two. Okay, just give me one. I know they have so many, but just give me one. Okay, thank you. Now we can choose 3 cards, which I feel like your heart is just gonna love that, but probably want 10 cards, judging by the energy coming through this. But the next 3 cards are all for the energies and messages your heart is sharing for your present incarnation. So for your current lifetime for pile 2. Messages from your heart. Just 3 cards, okay? Only 3. 1, 2. Okay, it's listening way better. Thank you. 3. Okay, so 1. We have Merkaba activation. Okay, that's awesome. I feel like that's just how they're going to sum that up. Okay. We have Seraphim's Gateway, voice activation, angelic attunement, divine support. That's super cool. I already feel like you guys are doing some powerful voice work shit. I don't know. I'm just seeing like singers, opera singers, what is that called? Channelers, song channelers, like meditation channelers, you name it, whatever you can use your voice for, I feel like you channel through it. So talking, channeling, channel, just like codes flying under your throat everywhere all the time. All the time. Like, look at these energies, guys. You already know this. Okay. What you've uncovered in this lifetime. This is an interesting card. I have not seen it before. Halls of Amenti Initiation. Secrets revealed, treasured, uncovered initiations. Super cool. When I'm seeing this card, I'm just getting vibes of like Egyptian knowledge, which is, I'm like, did you guys even choose like a human reading here? Like, I feel like these are these don't even feel like human things that we're gonna be talking about in your pile. It seems like we're gonna be talking about like super out there, like energy stuff. I don't know. I guess you'll see what I mean in a second. Like, I was expecting things like learning to have courage and like learning to love myself, but you guys are just on a totally different wavelength for this pile. I feel like it's just, yeah, Merkaba activation. That just summed it up. Okay, so things your heart's trying to tell you. The Lemurian seed codes. All right, we've got Emerald Tablet activation, of course, and oh, you guys did get Shamla initiations. Okay, so you guys, this is a very, very energy reading, like super energy reading, like soul purpose. Like I don't even have the right words to explain this. I need to clearly tune into your level of voice activation and channeling because could use some help here right now. Okay, so super interesting. Give me a second here. Okay, so Merkaba activation, transcendence, ascension, you are rising up. Like I said, there is a shit ton of cards I wanted to come out for being like, you have way more than one gifts and strengths. So I have to mention that because I feel like some of you are kind of like a little bit meek over there, being like, oh, well, I'm kind of good at this or I kind of good at that. It's saying, no, you're quite amazing at a lot of things. And basically, you feel like you're just constantly getting downloads shoved at you all directions, all over the place, everywhere, all the time. I feel like you know this already. I feel like you guys are living this. I feel like this is a kind of file where you're like, I'm always telling people this, and I'm kind of like trying to like not boast about it. I'm trying not to come off like funny about it, but like I am really getting activations all the time and higher wisdom and downloads all the time. But then I don't feel like people really understand the level to which you are getting them. So I think even part of this card reading is just even me witnessing on your behalf or for you that this is something you're really experiencing and other people are just not getting to which level this is all happening to you at. So yeah, transcendence, ascension, you're rising. So this is what you came in with. So already this is just explaining that you were not going to live a normal human life. You were coming here to, I don't know, like, I'm trying to think of this guy's name. I'm sure this Bible's heard of it. Like, he says he is a memory cell from Atlantis, I think or is it Egypt? I think he says Atlantis though. I think it's Atlantis. And he's like on Gaia TV all the time. Gosh, what is his name? He feels like very unhuman. And I feel like you guys are like right up his alley. Like if I were to tune in and like read, I feel like for all you different people watching this, you guys would all have like crazy past lives. Like I feel like most of your past lives would be far future lives. Like maybe like 1,000 years from now or something like that, or 1,000,000 years from now. And it's like you guys came back to plant all this crazy, you see like these portals of energies coming in from all different directions. I feel like it's just like crazy energy. I feel like you guys are like really quirky people too. Yeah, but in the best of ways. But yeah, I feel like if I were to read all you guys individually, most of you have like far, far future lives and have come back to ascension, rise people up, transcend this time. And it's really neat because I almost get like the hit that like you guys came back into the highest possible human timeline just to help sway the direction, like I would say like humans are going on or the planet is going on, which I really love when I see this kind of stuff because it basically means like, oh awesome, I'm like living in a higher timeline. It's a funny thing to say, but it means you're also living the higher timeline because you're here with me. But it's just neat because, yeah, it makes me feel like so much is possible, and we've all chosen to choose the highest path that humanity can take. And I love that, and I believe in that. So I like being on this one. I'm glad you're here with me. Anyways, I feel like things are just getting weird here. I'm getting weird. Okay, so yeah. So just you were not ever going to be a normal human. You were always going to have like, how would I put it? Like, I feel like you're almost born awake. I don't know if you feel totally like that, but I feel like you do. You do. I feel like you always, if you chose this pile, I feel like you always were awake. I can't see a possibility. And I feel like if you weren't awake, then if you like think back and like to your childhood now, you'd be like, oh, I really was seeing all this stuff. It just wasn't in my consciousness. Or I didn't like quite see it to the extent I see it now, but I feel like you were still seeing all of it, and you can like go back and think of your childhood and remember that. This is voice activation, angelic attunement, and divine support. This is what you are attracting in right now, your little spiral manifestation and your I don't always explain to my the last spiral. So I kind of just see everyone in their own sort of, lack of better words, like light pillar or spiraling energy, and in it I can just see everyone's limiting beliefs and everyone's unconscious beliefs and conscious beliefs, and it just kind of creates what they're attracting in. And you have like a super crazy aura thing going on here where I feel like it's almost like telling me like you are intentionally controlling what you allow your reality to be, which is just super cool. Like you're influencing your reality instead of your reality is influencing you. That's what I meant to say. I love it. Love that so much. So cool. Voice activation though, I'm really like, as soon as I put that card down, I was saying like, whatever you say and do, I feel like you are literally just throwing out like codes and just higher, what's the word? I think downloads is the best word I could use. Like you say something and you're almost giving someone like little light codes that can change their like virus or their unconscious belief virus that is not serving them. That's almost how I see things. I see things almost like data. Like, okay, if someone doesn't like this, if you could just give them if you could just reboot that program so that it wasn't just playing, like you reboot a computer and it just fixes it. That's how I like think of some things. Like if you could just give them like a little reboot and then it just clears up that block they were having. I feel like you just do that. Your energy just like sends off like these little sparks and it comes through your voice and just fix things. So I don't know if you do sing or not, but I feel like you should. If you've been self-conscious about singing, I would let that go. Your voice is like everything. Your voice is creating your reality, healing your reality. It is so powerful. Yes. Like, I don't know, maybe if a YouTube channel, maybe you should just have one where you just like sing, or maybe you literally do channel like codes or some sort of light language or something like that. If you do have that already, just keep doing that because it is amazing. If you don't have that and you've been thinking about it, it might be time to think about it and take some actions. I could stop thinking and to take actions towards it because I just feel like, wow, it is so powerful. Divine support, angelic attunement. I feel like it just says everything to me, but I should probably explain that to you a bit more of just saying like, I think you are attuned with that highest realm. You are bringing in that healing energy as you speak. You bring it in. I feel like you channel in divine supportive energy and bring it out. It's just super cool stuff, guys. Okay, then the halls of Amenti initiation, that was for what you've learned in this lifetime. I seriously think you guys do remember or have done some sort of research into Atlantis, Lemuria, or Egyptians, or all three. Or all three. But the thing is, with all three of these, is they all touch base on the same sort of energy principles, energy lessons. Like if you just do one of those three, you're going to still take away a lot of the same information is what I keep getting from this. And the interesting thing is they do talk about having learned the shadow and the light from those lifetimes. So you realize there was a lot of gifting and there was also a lot of shadow, but you take away both. you're not just taking from one side or only seeing one side. Secrets revealed, treasures uncovered, initiation. So this is why I was saying this reading is so like so not human, is what I was just saying. Like, it's just not about like your standard basic human life struggles. Like, it's talking all about like this higher ascension information, these higher downloads, learning from the past by like downloads from the past, if that makes sense. Like, you being able to tune into Atlantis energy, you being able to tune into that ancient wisdom, and how it all worked and how it all happened. And you know what, I also can't help but see also like the moon and spaceships in the background. So like, you guys just remember a lot about your past lives. I feel like you're really good at like tuning into frequencies and following the information that comes through it. So I feel like you've probably done a lot of past life work for yourself, or future life work, because I think you guys are from the far future. But it's technically your past life, right? So that's super cool. I love that. Super cool stuff. So you guys are so cool. That's the consensus of what's going on here. Okay. The information from your heart, however, is Lemurian seed codes. This is so funny because when I saw this, I was like, you guys for sure already have a piece of Moldavite or Lemurian quartz or something. You just have like a crystal that is known to be good for like channeling, downloading information from like I said, Moldavite, Tektite. I don't think you're a Tektite group though. Maybe like one of you, like maybe one of you like Tektite. You're all into the Moldavite or the Lemurian quartz for sure. Tektite I feel like is just too earthy still for a lot of you, but then I do see some people who are drawn to it because it's more close to their planet's energy that they like. So that makes sense. Okay. Anyways, embracing sensitivity, uniqueness, living with grace. So Lemurian seed codes. This is all about not being embarrassed about your sensitivity. So what do I see here? Anxiety. I feel like some of you worry about being anxious. Some of you feel worry about, this is where your humanness is coming through. Some of you worry about how people perceive you, just like general stuff like, are you too weird? Are you human enough? Like, just social engagement interactions. And I just get really from your heart, it's like, just embrace your sensitivities, embrace who you are, embrace like all that you are, and you are unique, and you living in truth with that is, like I said, it's so healing. Like, it's everything. You're made exactly how you were supposed to be made, so you could do all this. And like, I don't know, you're just beautiful. Don't quiet your voice or shut yourself down because you're worried about human judgment or awkwardness, because you are exactly how you were made to be, because you are serving the most people just as you are. Okay? I feel like I'm having a stern talk with you right now, all of a sudden. Okay. Don't hide that voice, okay? Don't hide it, because it is really beautiful, and I just keep getting, you were made exactly how you were supposed to be made, so you can help the most people. Emerald Talent activation, cosmic ordering, divine alchemy, consciousness manifesting. I love this because I basically just see a portal, like a heart energy portal. There is a Stargate activation card, but I feel like this is like literally like you're channeling in all sorts of crazy high frequency heart energy, and you're just kind of bringing it in to the land around you. And I almost just feel like this is how I would see you, like if I were looking at you, your spiral of energy or your aura of the pillar of light that you're bringing to this world is just all heart, and it's just leaving some extra in the environment around you, because it's not your own energy, it's the energy you're always constantly pulling down and in to this realm. That's what's beautiful. It's beautiful. Yeah, recharging for everyone. Divine alchemy, I feel like it just, once again, is reiterating that you know and understand that you do create your reality. You are the creator. You are the creator of what you experience. And what you manifest in is what you're going to experience. And I just feel like you get that. You get that so deeply. And then Shambhala initiations, retreating to recharge, trusting in the process and Dharma. Retreating to recharge. I think this is really important for this pile because they get like with that sensitivities, like sometimes they feel like the heaviness of the world can get to you, like the war, the chaos, the meanness. The meanness sometimes is really exhausting for you, and it's saying just honor yourself. Like you needed to be as sensitive as you are so you could be as high of service as you can be. Doesn't mean you need to always be draining yourself and giving 150%. You take some time to find your boundaries and listen to your body and listen to your heart on your energy that you have to give, and just maybe let, like if you're a practitioner of some sort or you have plans, just let people know ahead of time. Don't do last minute cancellations. Just say, hey, you know what, I'm a little tired, I'm a little exhausted, I don't have the energy to show up how I want to show up today, can we reschedule, something like that, because I feel like this is something that might happen for you a lot. Is needing to reschedule, but tell them before the last minute cancellations, and that's good. There's nothing to worry about. Procrastinating, telling people, that's when sometimes like people are like, oh, I would have liked a heads up so I could have changed my plans. So you just got to think of it that way. Trusting in the process and Dharma. So I just feel like your whole journey here, your heart is all about following your Dharma, following what you feel called to do, what you feel so drawn to go after. You just keep living in that. That's what your heart wants for you. Lots of heart energy, lots of higher frequency energy. Super cool pile. And I know, I feel like there's like, after you read this, same with pile 1, I feel like there's something else I'm supposed to share now, but that's all I have for you. That's all I had planned. So good luck on your journey ahead, and you've got this. You're super cool. You have so many gifts. Like I said, it just wanted to give me like 20 cards on how many gifts and strengths you have, both born with and both learned. But I only had time for one of each. So you are so, so gifted. And for some reason, I want to leave this pile with like a quick little 3 ding, ding clearing. Ting, ting clearing. I don't know what you call that. Ding, ding, ting, ding, whatever. Just feels right. Okay, I hope you have a wonderful day. Maybe some of you have some podcasts or YouTube channels to start to get your voice out there, get some channeling out there. Whatever it is, whatever you've been thinking about, I feel like it's on your radar. Just know it is exactly what you're meant to do. You've got to share that voice. It is beautiful. It is activating. Okay, you guys have a wonderful day, and maybe I'll catch you around. Hello, Pile 3. So you all chose this rose quartz. I'll just put it right here. And we are going to pull your cards for you. So the first card is your natural gifts and strengths you were born with. So this is what you came in as a soul with. It's not what you learned in this life. You already had it. So your natural gifts and strengths for pile 3. And love and light and for the highest good of all involved. And just one card. Perfect. And then 2 is challenges you are currently experiencing or manifesting based on your current point of attraction for pile 3. Awesome. And then 3rd card here is gifts and strengths you have uncovered in this lifetime for pile 3. So the gifts that they have learned in this lifetime. Okay. And then the last 3 cards here are all going to be the energy and messages your heart is sharing for your present incarnation. So for your present lifetime for pile 3. Messages from their heart. Oop. All right, I feel like the cards came up quite easily, which is nice. Okay, so we have here, I'll go like that. It's not really wanting to focus. We have karmic board clearing. Ooh, that's really interesting. We have energetic shifts, new information, end of a cycle. That's a great card to have coming in. And we have star being healing codes, important information, wounds are healed, recharging. Okay. Ooh, definitely, I feel like I like this pile. It's very clear and direct. And I almost was getting that impression as your cards were coming out very easily and smoothly. Usually says something about the intention going on. Okay. Activation, work about. Wow, all three of your heart messages are all activations, so that's really cool. Ascension, transmissions, learning experiences, divine alchemy, conscious manifestations. Cool. Very direct card reading. This might be a bit short, but very right to the point, which is sometimes nice. So, what you were born with, karmic board clearing, energetic clearing, rewrite your story, live your truth. So, this is telling me right away, came in, clear some karma. I think for this is going to be some family karma, ancestral karma. So what does that mean? Like lineage stuff, like stuff where it's been repeating for a long time, but your family group is just like, all right, we want some help. We don't want to keep going through these karmic cycles, these karmic lessons. Someone like you, your beautiful soul comes in and you're like, I'm going to come in and I'm just going to clear this. I'm not going to live in it. Well, you do at the start. Usually you come into it a little bit and then you don't let it last very long. You clear it out. You're just done with it. So super cool. Super important life kind of stuff to do. Rewrite your story. So that also is so cool. So let me see here. I'm just going to tune in a little bit. I do just see like you decide who you want to be and what you want your identity to be. And so you might have come from a religious upbringing where you didn't really want to be part of that and you're choosing to rewrite who you are. And if you came in from a religious upbringing, sometimes that it becomes your entire identity. So to leave it is almost like an identity crisis. But then you decided who you were going to be and write your story. It doesn't have to be religion, but unfortunately, I feel like that is the easiest example I can give right now for this because that's all that's coming to my mind. The other thing I kind of get is like maybe you come from a family, a very scientific background. So I'm just thinking of like maybe they're all doctors, they're all engineers. That's not quite right. Some kind of scientist. I just keep getting scientists. Scientists, research, they do something, and like you coming in like is a real oddball for them. Like, and I think you were even like that though. But maybe you went to school and you did all that. You went to university, you believed in hard facts and all that, and now look at you. You're watching a pick a card reading, and maybe you would describe yourself more as like, I don't want to say hippie, but like a new, not even new age, spiritual person. It's funny, I'm trying to use all the words, but they're like, you don't like the association with most of those words anymore. But you know what I'm trying to communicate, I think, in this pile. You're just very much different than from who you were, and you really rewrote your story. And it says living in your truth. Like, this is what you came in to do, like to just be you, to just live in like this energy here of just expansion and like limitless. I love it. It's a very beautiful card here. Next here we have the Anukai light codes, energetic shifts, new information, end of a cycle. Why I was loving this at the start is it talks about the challenges you are currently experiencing or manifesting based on your current point of attraction. So it basically means what are you attracting in? What are you manifesting in, both subconsciously and consciously? In your unconscious or in subconscious or whatever. And I just got like that you're ending cycles. So this is a great card because it means, like, I just feel like when I see this, it's telling me that you are consciously choosing to change some of that subconscious programming. So whatever came up in your upbringing that was maybe religious or super scientific or super fact-based and like not about magic, not about any of this ethereal kind of things, whatever the situation was for you, like it's saying like you are changing that energetic shifts. Like you're literally changing what you're attracting in. You're changing all the limiting beliefs or the subconscious stuff that was kind of hiding in the background, kind of hiding in the deeper codes of your body. I don't really know the best way to explain this. Like maybe like a limiting belief like this isn't real. None of this is real. Magic isn't real. Things can't work out for me. Synchronicities don't exist. Only coincidences do. Any kind of like, you know, those weird little things that people might have said to us. I feel like that's all clearing out and says end of a cycle. So you're attracting in new shit. That's what this means, guys. I'm saying the word shit a lot in all these pick apart files, which is weird. It's just a thing right now. I guess I'm experiencing a lot of swearing or something like that. But anyways, super awesome because it means new information. So new downloads are coming in, new perspectives, I just feel like, yeah, new people. I just think you're just literally, like it says, in the end of a cycle and you're on to something different now. And it feels, I want to say it feels like your golden future. Like it just feels like that. It feels like you're coming into yourself. You're coming into um, this higher, more joyful timeline or version of your life. You're stepping into it. So super awesome. That's why I loved seeing that. For this one here, this is your strengths and gifts you've gained from learning and living your life. So start being healing codes. Important information, wounds are healed, and recharging. The word that stood out to me the most was recharging. And to me, it was more like taking breaks because I feel like there was like that hustle and bustle kind of mentality. Like you probably grew up in a family where it's like you work really hard. You can only make money by working hard. I can't remember. There isn't a specific expression people say around that. Money doesn't grow on trees. You gotta hustle. I don't know. They're just basically saying like you have to basically work yourself to death to get anywhere. Like that's the theme. And I feel like it's saying like you've learned that that is not how you are productive and giving your best or being your best self or your truest self or your highest self or your most joyous life or your most profitable life even. It is not coming from running yourself. Oops, sorry, ragged. Ragged, like tired, drained. To exhaustion. There is a balance. There is a balance of firstly they're saying like doing what energizes you, what you love, because that's already fueling. Like that just fuels you, makes you feel excited about life, which just brings more energy to you. And anytime more energy comes to you, then you have more energy yourself and you have more energy to put into other things. And it just like is a beautiful cycle there. And wounds are healed. So I do feel like this is talking about, once again, like very karmic, very like healing, limiting beliefs that were really ingrained into you, into your ancestral line, into your family line, lineage, whatever you want to say. Crazy. And important information I feel like is really saying like you really just realized that it wasn't getting anyone anywhere and it wasn't them working to absolute depletion that got them there. It was like their knowledge, maybe their skill sets, but they could have taken a little more time off. They could have hired someone to manage the things that didn't need their gifting at it. I like think of like Tony Robbins. Like he hires so many people and he only puts his time and energy into what he does best. Because like organizing something someone else can do. He doesn't need to do that. He doesn't need to like share every bit of information. Other people can share it too, but he's going to just keep doing exactly the point where he shines the brightest, where his energy is the most well used. And I feel like you've just learned that is like a huge thing for your journey here. And then the messages that your heart has to tell you, we have Emerald Tablet Activation, Cosmic Ordering, Divine Alchemy, Conscious Manifestation. So I love this. I even feel like this is what you're starting to do, but your heart is just coming through with confirmation about I feel like, especially when I see this card, because it's all about calling in and bringing in the heart energy, pulling it in, and then creating your reality. I feel like it's just reminding you of that. Follow where your heart is taking you. Keep that heart light on, and everything will change for the better. Like I get that. Like that's where your conscious manifesting happens. And like I said, I feel like you're getting this already because you have energy shifts, new information, end of cycles. I think this is all coming from connecting in with that heart energy, and using that to magnify magnetic ties, like a magnet, attract things to you. I can't quite say that word right now, or the conjugation of that word correctly right now. Yeah, cosmic ordering. So I really feel like just keep that up, keep doing that. The more you do that, the more you become the divine alchemist, the more you rewrite your story, the more you take charge of your life. Gaia gateway activation, learning experiences, Wyndham transmissions, earth intelligence. I also get this for this file. This is all about staying grounded and rooted in this reality, like following your heart but staying attached to this world. Like I feel like some people can get really, really caught up in the crown chakra activations, doing all the very ethereal stuff, but then they forget to stay grounded and rooted in this earth, and it's hard to bring things in and retain things and ground them into this reality when you are not grounded yourself. So I feel like this is kind of just a little reminder, and also a little reminder to connect in with nature and the earth energies and the elements. And yes, there's so much power and information there that sometimes that gets forgotten in these like higher energy worlds. So just a little reminder, stay grounded, stay connected. And then you also stay connected and in sync with, I feel like, the oneness of all through being grounded. So I always find that neat. Merkaba activation, transcendence, ascension, you are rising. So I just feel like this is a little shout out from your heart saying, you are overcoming things. You are activating yourself in so many ways. Like different things, different parts of you that maybe you didn't have awareness of are starting to come online, starting to create connection with, starting to create awareness around. Things are changing in your life. They so are changing in your life, and you are rising up. I don't know, I love that. I feel like this is just like really saying like you're coming more into your own story. You're coming more into yourself, more and more and more. You are rising up. I love that. I love it. This one was pretty simple and clear. I don't have a lot to add on to this. I hope this helps you in some way. And I keep saying in these piles, I feel like there's something I should just be adding at the end, but I don't quite know what that is. So hopefully this reading helped. I feel like there's still a lot of questions. Maybe that's what it is. I feel like a lot of questions are moving around in people's heads after this. So maybe it's just time to journal, think, connect in with that heart, ground yourself, and, make those energetic shifts and, yeah, I don't know, recharge. Anyways, I want to just end this with a little quick clearing here. I don't know, it just feels like a good way to end it. So I'm just going to ding it 3 times and just clear out any energies that aren't serving your highest good. All right. You all have a wonderful day and have a good one. Yeah. Have some contemplation, I think. Okay. See you guys around.